David Hawke.
Okay, well, thank you for the opportunity of presenting to you today. So I spoke last evening to you with John Bennett on behalf of Horsell Residents Association. So our submissions are always consensus documents, and we always encourage our people to submit individually. So this is my submission. So the focus I'm going to bring to you today is on cycleways, and I'm going to bring to you much more of a city-wide perspective that goes beyond Hallsville. So I work for a large central city employer. We have about 700 people on site in the central city, and my employer's made the commitment to encourage people to leave their cars at home, mainly for cost, so getting rid of the cost of running car parks, and for having a healthy workforce. So they've put a lot of effort into providing secure covered bike parks. They've provided bike share and other such like incentives. And so now what we're seeing is a council that's heading for postponement, and I sort of wonder where that leaves employers like mine. So colleagues that I've spoken to are really keen to bike, but they won't consider riding on unprotected roads. I guess as an individual, my motivation is that the city provides the ability for the less well-off to forego the burdens of car ownership, and as well as providing the opportunity for the environmentally conscious to get out on their bikes. I would say that the major cycle route program is fundamental to this, although it obviously has a long way to go. And I think, again, it's still on the southwest, but if you think of Hornby, so Hornby has no major cycle route program planned that I'm aware of, at least not at the level of that we have in other parts of the city, and biking in Hornby is absolutely horrendous. Coming back to Hallsville, my direct personal interest is in Quarryman's Trail. So that has the potential to be transformative for Hallsville, which like Hornby, I would see as drowning in a sea of cars. So lots of people in Hallsville own bikes, and they'll ride their bikes, but they actually need safe options. So Quarryman's Trail and other major cycle routes need to be brought forward. I guess the final thing that I'd like to say is that you've experienced as a council a lot of local pushback to particular projects in the major cycle route program. Can I say it won't get any easier politically? In fact, it'll probably get harder. If we look at the government's financial commitments, it's not going to get any easier there either. So, as I say, I'd like you to bring them forward, and I'll be there at the opening. Thanks very much.
Excellent. Well, look, Phil said to me yesterday that I should have given him the opportunity to ask a question around the Whiteley Avenue bus priority. So do you want to take that opportunity now?
I will, yeah. But thanks, David. Just going back to what you told us on behalf of the association yesterday, just what would help me for clarification is sounds like you were supporting a bus lane on Lincoln Road, and that's fine. There's also, though, reference to 4-laning, and I'm just wondering what your association's view is around the 4-laning in the area, I guess, to the west, like near Hillmorton, between Hillmorton Hospital and where the 4-laning starts.
Yeah, we would see it as bus priority all the way from Hallsville.
Okay, that clarifies that.
Absolutely.
Thanks, David.
But the thing that I'd add to that is that it must be accompanied by steps on the likes of Whiteley Ave to allow the buses to travel in that direction too.
Thanks for that clarification.
Yep. Sarah?
Thanks for that, David. Just checking your colleagues in town where you work, so back to your one about yesterday's. So who would quite like to bike but don't want to. These are currently people who are driving into town in single occupancy cars, is that right? And having to find a place to park for the day.
Yep. So ISIS in St Albans and Grant and Opawa.
Okay, yep. And hopefully more.
And more. They're the ones I deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Excellent, thank you.
Very short, 34 seconds.
Yeah, thank you. In particular, mention cycleway facility is most important. However, you didn't mention where need to consider reprioritize. Then you suppose increase the rates. So this is my concern. If increase the rates, in Christchurch, the aging population, quite a few elderly persons are against to increase the rates. So if overall view in citywide, rate per hour tax, which kind of infrastructure or project probably are below, which one's higher? They still keep a 5.5 the rates increase.
Yeah. So I would say that no matter what the age group, that you get people onto separated infrastructure and they are safer there. They feel safer and they are safer.
Yes, sorry.
Yes.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
But my question is,
I think
regarding
your focus
infrastructure
on
project,
rates.
cycleway compared to like the widening of
Oh, I see
bus
what you mean.
corridor,
Righto. Yeah,
or
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
the land drainage recovery, etc. Compare
Well,
which ones more high possibility.
Yeah. I understand that you have a priority setting process in place. So one part of that is that I saw recently quite a lot of support from council for building a stadium. So I would put cycleways before I would build a stadium. I would build 1 million cycleways before I build a stadium. And you'll see in my submission too is that I'm very strongly in supportive of a realistic rates program.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, that was an unusual element of your submission, but really, really well put, the way that you put it.
Yeah,
about
I can enlarge if you wish.
The intergenerational debt that you apply.
Very much.
Yeah, thank you. Look, thank you very much for your time. That's much appreciated. And I kind of recognised your face when you sat down, but I hadn't realised that you come from the yesterday's one.
Yeah, you've
Thank
seen a lot of people. Yeah, thank
Cheers.
you.